All right, billionaire investor Carl Icahn is betting against GameStop shares. This has been floating around the entire day. This is the same exact person in the GMEDD interview with Ryan Cohen, who Ryan Cohen actually vouched for.
Shared a photo with Carl Icahn.
I think there's a lot to learn from Carl. I mean, he is the OG activist, and he's been doing it for a heck of a long time.
Can you share why you met with Carl?
I don't want to get into the details of the conversation.
Now, this isn't a game of, yo, don't short my company because we're friends, because in this industry, everything is about making money. So I don't think it's anything personal between Ryan and Carl, except the fact that, you know, Carl's short. The company, it is what it is. The weird thing is that what we know, apparently we know, right? They say, these news outlets are saying that, you know, his position isn't disclosed, but he got in at $483. Okay, so apparently they know that. So if Carl got in at $483, the stock is now down to $20-something. Why would you continue to hold a short position? Well, I have no idea. We're going to get into that in today's video. So this article says, billionaire began shorting retailer during meme stock boom. GameStop has lost 71% of its value since the January of 2021 high. Now I'm going to play this article for you, and these people clearly have an agenda that was written to them to talk about GameStop. They go on to say that, yeah, why wouldn't you short this company? And they pretty much go out and say this company's trash. They're making shitty-ass business moves. They just came out with a new wallet. What a shitty time to come out with a wallet, right? NFTs are doing bad. Crypto's doing bad. I mean, Carl Icahn is just completely right? This is the dumbass propaganda that they are paid to push out. But I'm going to play this for you, and then let's talk about it.
GME for GameStop, as we're continuing to watch that, yeah, well, that's down by about 0.3%. A little bit of hyper oscillation, a little waffling, if you'd like to put it that way.
Love me some hyper oscillation.
Yeah, who doesn't love hyper oscillation?
Say that 5 times fast.
Well, let's talk more about that hyper oscillation, right? Billionaire investor Carl Icahn betting big against GameStop. This is according to a report in Bloomberg, which cited people familiar with the matter. Icahn reportedly started building that short when GameStop was at its peak of $483 per share, and he still holds a large bet. Reports say he's betting GameStop stock isn't trading on any fundamentals and will continue to fall. The retailer has lost roughly 70% of its value since last year's high. And by the way, he is far from the only person to be shorting this stock. Bloomberg citing S3, our friends at S3 Partners, who say that more than a fifth of the stock of the float is sold short. So it's a highly shorted company. And again, not as highly as it was at the peak, though, by the way.
Right. Yes, we should also note, too, we reached out to our Carl Icahns people. They did not return our request for comments. So this is all reportedly that he has had this short position. But look, I mean, it's a fundamentally awful company. I mean, I know they were getting talked about this week because they came out with a new NFT wallet or a GameStop wallet. I mean, what a worst possible time to come out with that, Brad. Awful.
I mean, well, going into the holiday season, perhaps that's what they saw.
I mean, they also, I don't know, there's a whole crypto blow up, and this company's pumping NFTs.
Yeah, so the demand for NFT is extremely low, perhaps at some of the lowest levels we've seen over the past 2 years at this point. But you talk about the number of shares that are floated right now, and particularly the short interest that is within that, too. As of right now, you've got about 53 million shares that are actually shorted at this point in time. That's about 20% of the overall float that is out there right now. So still way off of that, what, 100?
Well, depends where he got in. He's got to be making some serious money.
He got in at the top, according to this story, basically. And so if he's cashed out any of that short, he's done well. Yeah. So continuing Icahn's record, which has been pretty good when it comes to calling.
Hard to bet against that guy.
Things, yeah.
Okay, so we don't know the size of the position, but this tweet goes curious of the position size Carl plays with. Recently, news reported he went long on Twitter with a 500 million position for a few months swing trade during the Twitter drama. He then goes on to say if the GME short position is near that size, well, this could potentially be bad, but not for us. You see, I went and looked at a prospectus 8K that was filed by Ichan Industries yesterday, and this is what you can see. They entered into an open market sales agreement to issue and sell companies' depository units representing limited partners' interest. The depository units having an aggregate offering amount up to 400 million from time to time through the agent. So pretty much, Ichan Enterprises is saying, okay, we're going to be selling these depository units at whatever time we have to in order to raise this money for whatever reason, right? This is where tinfoil hat theories are going to be created, up to the amount of $400 million. So Ichan Enterprises all of a sudden is issuing the right to sell depository units of the company of up to $400 million. Why he needs this money, I have no idea. I mean, you made so much money shorting a stock from $483 down to $20. You should have enough money, you know what I'm saying? Well, this tweet is something I agree with. They go on to say that they're pushing this story very, very, very hard for some reason. Is Carl Icahn supposed to be the boogeyman? Did MSM not see what happened to Citron? Now, I wanted to cover this story for you, and I'm going to play the last two clips from different news outlets that are reporting on this. You can clearly tell some of them are reading from a script, and you can clearly tell that they are just bashing GameStop as a company and praising short sellers. And instead of just getting the narrative across that, okay, somebody's short GameStop, it is what it is, yada, 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 let's move on. They're bashing the company, and they're spreading this and pushing it extremely hard. I mean, if it was a dead company anyway, why would the news be covering it this hard? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below.
Has reportedly made a huge profit betting against GameStop. According to reports, Icahn began building a short position at the height of the meme stock mania back in 2021 when GameStop was trading above $400 a share. GameStop has now lost more than 70% of its value from that all-time high in January of 2021. Our own Scott Wapner reports that Icahn is still short the video game retailer, but the size of the positions not disclosed and a little bit unclear.
Short on. He wouldn't comment at all when I spoke with him by phone this morning. But that's my understanding about where sort of things stand. I really wanted your take, Josh, especially on this.
I've never traded GameStop. I never fully understood the appeal of it. I understood that part of it just got carried up in momentum, and a lot of people who had stayed short for too long, and most of the float was short, and it became an easy target to blow some of these guys up, and then that itself became recreational or a spectator sport. That's like a year ago, though, and so now the stock is in a 77% decline. Of course, you know they have employees, they have stores, they have customers. You never want to root for a company to fail or to go under unless you're short the stock, and I'm not. So I don't really have a horse in this race. I do think it's interesting, though, that Ryan Cohen and Carl Icahn had a meeting. There was a photo tweeted out a month ago. So apparently there was a chance maybe for Ryan to explain what he wants to do with the company, and maybe Carl just didn't come away from that convinced that he could do it. And so maybe that's the most interesting lens to look at it through. It's not personal. It's not about people tearing each other apart on the internet. It's just, hey, you think you're going to change the direction of the company? I don't think you could do it. And that's why I'm still short.
The other thing that I guess, Jim, I've gotten to learn about Carl through the years is that when he does a short like this, he stays around. He stays around for a long while.
You would know. You would know.
He stays around.
From the
so if he was in that, in the 400s, and as I suggested, he's, clearly traded around it at times, but the fact that he's still there, given where the stock price has come to from that level, suggests that he's not really running away anytime soon either.
No, and look, the problem with shorting a stock like this is it can go against you for a long time. And you speak to any short seller, and obviously you've spoken to many, so have I, so have all of us. And the problem is you've really got the courage of your convictions. You've got to have it when the price moves against you, because let's face it, when you're shorting a stock, you've got infinite potential losses. So when it starts moving against you, and it could be whatever, it could be the red